Welcome to episode 6 of the Vivek Perspective. Today we'll talk about Ireland. There has been an unprecedented series of attacks on Indians. I'll just name a few. A 40-year-old Indian man, new in Ireland, was stabbed in the face by teenagers, stripped, robbed, and scarred for life. In another place, Dr. Santosh Yadav, a data scientist, was ambushed and left with a fractured cheekbone. Lakhvir Singh, a taxi driver, was stuck in the head with a bottle. And one of the most awful things was this little story I heard about a 6-year-old Indian girl who was kicked in her private parts and then told to go back to India by teenagers. In most of these instances, a lot of these attacks are justified by saying these are just angry teenagers and ruffians and hooligans who do these things, so we shouldn't single out racial motivation. But it is very evident when you keep seeing not only these troll online farms, but also just an unprecedented amount of hatred, which is just befuddling and surprising. There was a chef who was dragged off his bike and beaten while he was on his way to work. Another Indian man was kicked, punched, left needing stitches above the eyes. And these aren't just headlines. These are broken bones, stitches, and scars on people who came here to work, study, and raise families. Many are now looking to, book their flights back to India. A lot of these troll farms may have started from US, from PewDiePie, some YouTubers, from China, Pakistan, and other farms. A lot of this online hatred has now gotten on the ground with kids being attacked. And here's the bitter irony. For centuries, the Irish themselves were victims of English rule, famines, forced migrations, cultural erasure. आयरिश को भी उतना ही प्रताड़ित किया था उन्हीं ने जिन्होंने भारतीयों के साथ में किया था. Indians also supported Irish freedom struggles as their own. And yet today, the solidarity is being repaid with hostility and rape. Why? Rising unemployment, housing shortages, and political scapegoats have turned migrants into easy targets. This echoes of history in America when Irish immigrants lashed out violently at Chinese railroad workers in the 1800s. Now the oppressed becomes the oppressor. Indians have given their labor and love to Ireland in hospitals, taxis, labs, and kitchens. But when their blood is spilled on the streets and leaders look away, the message is clear. Their safety does not matter, and that is a dangerous truth that must be confronted. The Indian Embassy in Ireland issued a notice to Indians to be careful of. Their authorities have acknowledged some of the racial motivation behind these attacks, but have done nothing to curb these attacks. And I don't see any news in Irish media or UK media about these things happening. Also, not only in Ireland, but in UK this past week, a Hindu community center was torched and burnt to the ground. And all you could see online under comments in those news were people celebrating these things happening. So pretty awful things are happening, and don't hear a lot about that on the news.